So it's being reported that over 1,000 FBI personnel are being instructed to dig through all of the Epstein files, all of their evidence and everything, and flag any mention of Donald Trump. Why would it take 1,000 people? Well, one, there is probably that much evidence, but two, they are trying to be that thorough to make sure Donald Trump's name gets flagged. Maybe they're going to try to make sure those pages don't come out, those reference sections don't see the light of day. I'm not sure. It reeks of a cover-up. Now, one of the things in politics that seems to always be true is that usually the cover-up is worse than the crime. Look back to Nixon and Watergate. It wasn't bad enough that he had wiretapped the DNC that year to try to make sure he won the election and that because he was paranoid. But it was everything he did to cover up the fact that he wiretapped the DNC. That was even worse, and that's ultimately led to him being pressured to resign instead of being impeached and removed. The cover-up is almost always worse than the crime. And if the FBI is digging through the Epstein files, trying to make sure Donald Trump is in the clear, that reeks of cover-up. And now, why would the DOJ and the FBI be doing this? Probably at the direction of Donald Trump, because he knows he's mentioned. Donald Trump is terrified of these Epstein files coming out and seeing the light of day. Donald Trump knows how bad it is. That's why he keeps trying to distract away from it. He says things like, are we still talking about that guy? Why are we still focusing on that? We've got other things to focus on. What's the big deal? Oh, we're going to release the information. And now we find out that they're digging through the information ahead of the release, which sounds like to make sure his name's not in there. Donald Trump knows how bad it's going to be for him publicly. He's afraid of the embarrassment because his ego can't take that embarrassment. This is going to be the biggest undoing of him with the MAGA base. They want those files released so desperately because they are convinced that there will only be left-leaning Democratic names on that list because they have been told for so long that all of the worst things about Democrats. When the list comes out and they finally get it out there, and Donald Trump's name's attached to it, or there are multiple Republican names attached to it, or whatever, these MAGA folks are going to lose their minds over what's actually going on and how that list actually looks, because it's not going to be what they expected. Donald Trump can't get away from this story. He's trying everything he can do to protect himself, and it's not working. This cover-up is going to be worse than probably Watergate, and it may leave the Republicans with no choice but to walk away from Donald Trump.